Hello, welcome to the speaking test. Okay, what's name? I'm Francis. What's your name, please?
My name is Tony.
Tony. What is your full name?
Well, my full name is Winchan, but you just call me by my nickname, which is Tony.
Tony. Okay, good. Tony, so do you work or you're a student?
Well, currently, because I'm still around 16,
Mm-hmm.
and by according to the Vietnamese standards, 16 is the age where you should be at schools. So this is where I am. I've just finished my entrance test into 10th grade, and scores was pretty high, pretty good. So I managed to get into a public schools. So I'm currently a student.
Okay, good. Now we are going to go through three parts in the speaking test, and in the first part, we're going to discuss some questions relating to yourself. We're going to talk about money. Right? So when you go shopping, do you prefer to pay for things in cash or by card?
Well, from my perspective as a student,
Mm-hmm.
I usually only hold cards. Usually like hold cash in my pockets because
Mm-hmm.
I asked my parents to have a credit card, but they said that 16 is
Yeah.
still an age too small to be able to manage your credit card effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as that, it comes with big responsibilities. You have to sign a lot of like agreements, things like insurances, all of that to make sure that if you don't spend more money than you have.
Mm-hmm.
And since I have never opened a bank account, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay all my things like necessities, groceries, book and pencils, like all of the stationeries by cash.
Okay. Do you ever save money to buy special things?
Yeah, I do actually. Well, so last year I just won a competition with around 50 million VND, and I saw the great opportunity for me to save up to buy my dream piano. It is a Yamaha YDP Class 164, and it has a very beautiful signature. Its sound is just simply amazing, and it's great, all of those, but one thing, it's extremely costly. It's around 19 million VND, but luckily with winning that competition it boosts me by 50 million VND, and the rest 4 million I managed to save for over the course around 4 months or so, which is not bad. And after that, I just bought it around 1 month ago, and it was just great.
Okay, because you're still a student and you haven't worked yet, so I changed a little bit the question. Will you take a job which uh, has low pay? Will you in the future take a job that has low pay?
Well, for me personally, I would rather take risks than take the chances in order to be able to get a well-paid job
Mm-hmm.
than rather to be sustain myself and be happy with a low-paid job for a long time. Because in life, you have to set a major milestone or goals that you would be able to do over your entire lifetime, and just being happy with a meager amount of money isn't like sufficient to achieve those big goals. So I would be willing to take chances, like taking risks to get a well-paid job, have a great income, rather than be happy like stay permanent with a low-paid job.
Okay. And would winning a lot of money make a big difference to your life?
In reality, me personally, I've always used money that I've always come to expect that the amount of money I would have, and I would divide them on the daily budgets. So, and currently, since I'm still young, my parents still give me amount of money for things that I need. So if I one day won a big lottery, then I'll probably just ignore it, throw them all them into a bank account and just leave it sitting there for a while, because like why we don't need to use that money for now since it's 16, and sometimes the best thing is to just leave it there, because you're still young. When you waste money when you're young, it's very hard to get back on the right track to manage a financial budget when you're a grown up.
Okay, thank you. Now we're going to move to part two, and in this part, I'll give you a topic and a sheet of paper. Yeah. Here is topic, and you you have 2 minutes to speak on the topic. Okay, now the topic is describe an interesting TV program you watched. about a science topic. Okay. Okay. Now you can talk on your own.
Well, in nowadays there are plenty of TV programs that you can have a cup of tea, have a plate of snacks to listen to or watch to. And today I'm going to present to all of you here a pretty interesting program that I've watched and accidentally discovered 3 years ago. It's called Mayday Air Disasters. So as you know, this program, as it says, it talks about planes and also all the disasters that have happened, crashes, as well as the reasons behind them. So as you know, as I said before, this program I accidentally discovered it 3 years ago, while I was searching on YouTube for a favorite song. I was quite bored back then because I've just finished some tests and I just want to relax a bit. Like I was looking for a program that is interesting, but I also want to waste time in efficient and great way that will help me learn as well. So to do that, I decided to look up for something like relaxation. But instead, I've since accidentally discovered this video. This channel talks about all about planes, the mechanism, working parts of planes like tail, the ailerons, the wingspans, all of things related to the aircraft, as well as giving out some detailed investigations on crashes, the reasons behind them, and how to better manage these kind of accidents in the future to prevent them from happening once again. So there are plenty things to learn about from here, as you know. First of all the information about plane parts, as well as the training you have to go through in order to become a pilot, and like learning about detailed parts of the planes, how it works, in order to efficiently manage them in case of the accidents or something like that. Plus, that you also learn the soft parts, like such as quick decision making or like detailed scientific solving, which is extremely useful in case of a high load stress situations. So I found this extremely useful because like you get to waste time in the best way possible. Like you use it for educational purposes as well as for relaxational purposes.
Okay, thank you. That's just in time. We've been talking about an interesting TV program you watched about a science topic. I'd now like to ask you some questions related to this. How interested are people in your country in science?
Well, I would like to divide this on the scale of the age of the groups. For the young age group from around 6 to 12, they are very interested. This is the age where they are discovering about the world, discovering all the things, creating their point of view about the world and how everything works, how the different people interact. Like they're learning this is China, this is Russia, and something like this is the plant called something like this, and this is my mom, this is my dad. Like they're forming relationship about everyone and everything around them. But getting up, things started to slow down, and this process like was accelerated by the introduction of high gadgets like technologies like iPhones. And these days, kids usually don't do that much science. Like they just put their minds and times into those kind of TikToks, for example, like just watching boring shows. Well, I believe that they can actually do the jumping step into the adult age because this is a time when they are continuing forming detailed and advanced technology. Like they are learning different concepts like in math, In science, you are learning all about the detail that things that you wouldn't understand when you're young. But this process has been halted or even stopped, slowed down because of these technologies. Well, there's been after that we have the adult age groups, but you know they have spent most of their time into work around maybe more than half of the day, so they won't have a lot of time. But it seems that many of them are still interested in learning about science, about the world. And I've heard from some of my close friends of my mom's and my dad's that they want to like learn the English again or some of the subjects that they endeavored when they were young, because it's like their young dream, and this is what propelled them, motivated them to be to this day. And after that, yeah, the trend still stays quite, the plateau still stays quite there onward.
So how do you suggest the public can learn more about scientific development?
Well, there are plenty of methods that they can use in order to boost their knowledge about the world. The first way, of course, is for parenting helping, of course, because when they're young, they still probably won't know the best way to move, and the parents, this is where they can put in a bit of encouragement, a bit of material work for the students, for the young in order to learn. None of that is important, that you have to learn by yourself. Self-study is very important here, because this is what separates the elites from the regulars. This is what helps you get a good job later on into the elite class, where you're paid high paid and you have a great reputation. This is very important. As well as that, governments can actually do a lot here. They can help fund projects as well as subjects that many kids are interested in, like science, biology, for example, where they can fund publics where having materials, as well as using microscopic, like to have real detailed experiments instead of just learning on them on papers. Because what hook kids the most is what they see in real life, because they form a reputation, like forming their own way of thinking about that particular kind of things, and this will be the foundation for future studies.
Okay, thank you.